Guys, as most of you know, Friday is my favorite day of the week. I even used to do an episode based around the day a while back. Well, I decided to bring it back today. Without further ado, let's get to a Par 5 Friday. Welcome back to another episode of Knock Stiff Golf, guys. I'm Kyle, and as most of you know, I live in Anchorage, Alaska. I'm a diehard golfer, and when I don't get to play the game, you can usually find me online talking about it. A lot of you got involved in the drawing that I held over on my Instagram, a little partnership with Thistle Leather Goods. I appreciate everybody that got entered, and congratulations to our winner. I'll be sending out those leather products here shortly, and I hope you guys can get involved next time that happens. And if you haven't, head over to my Instagram, @KnockStiffGolf. Give me a follow, DM me on there, let's chat, connect, and go from there. Par 5 Friday was an idea that I had a while back where I would do 5 golf-related things and just to talk about them, essentially. It could be news, it could be gear, it could be players, it could be personalities, courses, whatever it is in the golf world that I found interesting and wanted to talk about. And so it's been a few weeks since I've done one because I wanted to take a break, try some different content, see how that worked, but I kind of wanted to bring it back and just for old time's sake and do it again to see if that's something people want to see more of. Let's get into it. So number 1 is going to be about the Honda Classic. That's this week going down in Palm Gardens, Florida, and it's always a great tournament. It's early in the season where a lot of people are starting to get jacked about the golf season. No majors happened yet. The Masters is coming up. A lot of us are getting really excited about that. And a lot of the big players are starting to kind of get in some more tournaments before the majors start. The first thing we're going to talk about is Rickie Fowler and some of the hiccups he's had lately. And he even got the win at the Waste Management Open, but he's been on the struggle bus with the rules officials lately. He had kind of a fair but unfair ruling at the Waste Management that almost cost him the tournament. And I think we can all agree that, you know, rules are rules, and that happened. It just doesn't seem fair, per se, with his ball rolling back in the water. Regardless, and then the following week, in Mexico, he got penalized for dropping from shoulder height and then hitting the ball, because that's where the penalty is. And that's been something he's probably been doing for most of his life and his golf career. Thursday, Rickie let it be known when he had to take a drop that he was probably frustrated with the rules on the new dropping procedures. And as you can see, he thought he would have some fun with it. And I can't blame the guy. He's got some hard breaks. He's got the victory, but he's still kind of dealing with some struggles on the golf course with rules and with high scores. So you can imagine as a professional player, that's got to grind on you after a while. I think he had good fun with it. It didn't bother too many people, and the internet's been obviously having a heyday with it. So let's move on to number 2. As I mentioned in a few videos a while back, Koepka may be my new favorite golfer to an extent. He's really spoken out about slow play on tour. He's called it ridiculous, embarrassing that players take that long to hit a shot. He's called out Sergio for acting like a baby out on the course, which I agree, and I've done another video about that. He's also kind of picked on PGA Tour officials on their rulings and on how to enforce rules and why they don't have the balls to do it. He's really just been speaking his mind quite a bit lately, and I think a lot of people are appreciating that because we need somebody that's going to be honest and forthright with what they're saying. According to what he's been thinking, this is the real him that's coming out. He's always wanted to be kind of PC in the past, and now he's kind of thinking to himself, I want to speak my mind. And he says he's pretty influenced by NBA players and how they kind of are on the forefront of speaking whatever they're thinking and trying to be honest and forthright. And I don't know if that's always true, but whatever, he's inspired and he's speaking his mind more. And I think a lot of people in the real world should probably do that more. If something bothers you and it's reasonable, express that. And maybe you'll be happier at the end of the day, and maybe you'll make some more enemies along the way because, you know, that happens. So number 3 is something I just want to address because I think it's only fair that I really came down on Sergio about being a baby and damaging the course when he was unhappy with whatever his results were or whatever was going on in his life at the time. He took it out on the course, damaged greens, and threw a fit in a bunker, and I felt like that was very childish, very immature. I have to bring this up because I have to be fair. I do like Bryson DeChambeau, and even though he is one of the slowest players on tour, I can still respect him for usually keeping his composure. He's passionate and he can get fired up, but he usually keeps it in check. Well, he did not keep it in check a couple times, and I'm gonna roll these clips, hopefully. Last time my video got blocked by YouTube because I showed one clip of the European Tour. Regardless, I have to show this and be fair and say that this is unacceptable. You should never be taking your temper or your anger out on the course. I don't care who you are. It's just disrespectful. It's rude. I understand you're playing at the top tier of golf, but there's people's jobs that you're making harder because you decided to be upset. And that's not acceptable to me. I do have to say though, Bryson DeChambeau has been in the comments in Instagram of all places apologizing to people that have called him out for being a baby or for being too angry at the course, etc., etc. And I have to give him props for that because I saw him respond to several comments, and by several I mean like 15 different people saying, you know what, I'm a passionate player and that's unacceptable for how I acted. I'm sorry, I will do better. And that's all I think most people want. We want to cheer for players that are passionate and have a lot of energy. That's what a lot of people are drawn to Tiger Woods about, is you've never seen people fist pump like that and get excited and jacked in golf before, and that gets people fired up. And even if you make mistakes along the way, if you apologize and just explain why that happened and say that you'll do better, I think most people are willing to move on from a lot of that stuff. I will say the difference between that and Sergio is Sergio always tends to blame it on somebody else. So that's neither here nor there. That's in a past video. You can go click this link up above and check that out there. But I think we all agree it's unacceptable to damage the course. DeChambeau apologized and he said he's working on that, but he will never not be a passionate player, which I can still respect. So let's move on to the next one. So number 4 is going to be something that is going to be very interesting going forward. A lot of people are familiar with the new rule that you can leave the flag stick in when putting, and a lot of people have been using this, and I myself have used it when I was down in Florida just to try it out, see how it went for a new way to golf. And essentially it didn't change too much for me. I didn't notice any necessarily benefits or negatives. I did notice that it seemed to be easier to aim for me at the hole because I could aim for the left half or right half of the cup a bit easier since it was sliced in half with the flag stick in. That was the only thing that I noticed with my eyes that seemed to benefit me. Let's take a look at what happened this week. So to review, golfers can leave flag sticks in the hole without penalty. Pro golfers have convinced themselves that they will make more putts. Fans can see the hole easier. And unlike some of golf's new rules, there is nearly a unanimous support for this change before a majority of golfers have even tried it. Okay, so we have that. But with the R&A's Martin Slumber's comments this week, combined with the USGA's Thomas Pagel having said something similar to the Wall Street Journal's Brian Costa, both organizations have suggested that should there be signs the new rule is enhancing performance and de-skilling the game, they may have to revisit the change. So without even being a year into a rule change, we're already looking at changing it again because it perhaps is de-skilling the game. I do have to agree with that. I feel like if it's obviously making the game easier, then it's something that shouldn't be allowed in the pros. Amateurs, I don't think that, and by amateurs I mean casual players, I don't think we'll be able to tell the difference, whereas I think that rule should be allowed. But the pros, if they're going to Augusta where the greens are terribly slick and they're leaving the flag stick in and scores are dropping because the flag stick is in, I don't know if that's going to happen, but I could just see that changes the whole realm of the game. I feel like there would always be an asterisk next to your name if you won a tournament with the flag stick in every time, because right now we're not really sure if it helps or hinders, but there is the potential that it is de-skilling the game. And honestly, if I won a major, I don't want that next to my name that I was the first major winner to leave the flag stick in every time. Now, you can let me know your thoughts below. I think in the pro level, that's not speeding up the game. So they need to just keep that in the amateur and casual ranks and keep the game how it was in regards to the flag stick. So last but not least is something I just wanted to draw attention to because it's something I think is really cool. There's a Instagram account that's called Hey_Life, and I've been following him for a while, and a great photographer and seems like a great guy. And so what he does is every year he does some sort of photo competition, and so he uses the hashtag HeyPhotoComp, and usually it's a black and white golf related photo. And so I really enjoyed just going through there and seeing like a lot of the talented photographers that are on Instagram, because it seems like a lot of them were drawn to this and submitted a lot of black and white photos. So if we go and click through here, you're just gonna be just inundated with terrific photos of golf. And a lot of us just enjoy seeing other people play the game, seeing great courses, seeing great photography. And it's just like a good place to go and get inspired about the game. And especially if you're a content creator, like browsing through this gives you infinite ideas of how to take pictures, what to take pictures of, and use it as this inspiration, really, because you just realize how much talent is out there. And a lot of times when I see people that are more talented than I am, it inspires me to want to get better. Please take a look through here. It's a great thing that he does. I know he's going to be giving out some prizes for some of the winners, and he does it in his Instagram stories. You kind of select which picture you think is better, and it's kind of a ranking system. But you know, he gives people a lot of exposure that maybe is just some guy that's taking pictures when he's out with his kids on the weekend. So it's a great thing, and I encourage you check him out, check the competition out, and just support a lot of the content creators online because they do great stuff, and a lot of times we can help them out if we support them. With all that said, I really appreciate you guys tuning into this episode of Par 5 Friday. It's something I wanted to bring back. Let me know in the comments below if this is something you enjoy seeing or want me to stick with old commentary videos and other stuff as well. Like always, like, comment, subscribe below, and connect with me on all my social medias, my Instagram, Facebook, all of that stuff, guys. As always, thanks for following along on this journey, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, bye.